Hey. Time for another Out of This World story from rSpace. How to move on from an ex 101. Stick to the basics. Cut contact and focus on yourself. Today on rSpace, don't be looking at those old photos of your ex. Embrace the new. Finally got my girlfriend, 29, to admit she cheated. She packed her crap and moved 3 weeks ago. There was many red flags that led up to this point, and I could likely write a novel on my situation, but I will spare the details. Here's how I found out. Her and I got into an argument one night about something trivial. I went to bed around 11 p.m. and I received a message at 1 a.m. while I was dead asleep from my ex. She said she was going for a walk. I woke up about 4 in the morning when she finally made it back into our bedroom. I was too tired to care, and I went back to sleep until I woke up later in the morning. She had slept in until about 1 in the afternoon. She also intentionally avoided leaving and returning through our front door, where I have a doorbell camera installed, likely to avoid giving me a timestamp on her whereabouts. When she finally woke up, I asked her about her walk, as it was totally out of character. No good things happen at 1 a.m. She wouldn't tell me who she was with, and I could clearly see she was making up a story on the spot. She later told me that she opened to somebody, coworker, about how she was unhappy in our relationship and disclosed a little too much information that should have been obligated to discuss with me. This dude apparently walked her home and offered to kiss her. She said she declined the offer. She maintains this part of the story as truth. But my trust was already broken at this point. As weeks passed, I would bring up the story and the details would change, and she told me she was going to move back home. I didn't understand the idea of her leaving unless she was guilty about something, so I continued to push the issue further. One day she told me she put in her 2 weeks notice at work, so I knew she was leaving. She had messed up. She knew too, but she hadn't admitted yet. But that night, she finally admitted to me after I took her phone and went through it in front of her. I told her to leave, and when she had nowhere else to go, she decided to retract her statement about cheating and then said it didn't happen. That is something you don't admit to unless you actually do it. As it turns out, it was not a one-time offense, and it was an affair. I may not even know the full truth or for exactly how long this was going on for. I guess I have to accept the story she has given me as truth and move on. I do have a morbid curiosity, though, about the real truth, but I know it's only going to hurt me more. To give some backstory, our relationship was nothing short of unconventional. We were together for 7 years, and 4 of those we were apart, long distance. We tried to see each other as much as we could when we were apart, but there were some gaps in between. When we finally decided on a compromise and living together, this happens no more than a year later. If she was so quick to do this while living under the same roof as me, it's undeniable it happened when we were apart. I've invested so much into a person apart and in person, and I never thought she would just throw it all away like that. The one person I trusted more than anyone betrayed me. If she was so unhappy, she should have left. I know what you guys are going through. Hope we can all find some healing. You're most definitely right, OP. She can do it right in front of you. She can do it under your nose, too. And by moving back home, she's definitely running from something and can't bear to take responsibility for it all. Honestly, it probably happened so many times that she'd be unable to tell all of the lies apart from one another. Update. She told me she wanted to cheat on me. Need support, NSFW. Anyway, I posted a few weeks back after I found out about my partner's 29 female affair. I still cannot shake the words she had said to me. Upon her confession, I asked why she would do that. She said with no mercy and without hesitation, "I wanted to cheat on you." She had also said, "What else do you want to know? I effed other guys too." As times moved past after that night, she told me that her statement about hooking up with other guys was untrue and maintains that the only time she was unfaithful is with the affair partner in question. Like, how toxic can you be to say to somebody to deliberately hurt them? Why even go to the extent of putting that doubt in my mind, especially if that statement was untrue? Call me old-fashioned, but nobody just admits to cheating with multiple partners just to piss somebody off, especially if they didn't do it. I don't know who she is anymore, or if I ever really did. Just to recap here, quick edit. Her and I have no contact. Her and I are not on speaking terms right now. This is what was said to me while she was packing up her crap and getting ready to leave. Oh boy, that's harsh. I'm sorry, OP. She's probably saying things like that because she wants you to be the one to leave and end it. She's a weak person. Like I said, she doesn't want to take responsibility. It's easier to hurt and totally burn a bridge than it is to take responsibility and ask for forgiveness. She knows she's a disgrace for a human being. Update. 1 year of no contact. It gets better. Progress NSFW. Long post warning. I have successfully not given any sign of life to my ex and haven't heard a peep from her in exactly 1 year to the date. I can only assume the milestone resonates much more to me, as dates have always had some sentimental importance to me, and considering I was the betrayed, blindsided partner in this matter. I doubt she has given any thought to the length of time spent without contact with me. Plus, I highly doubt she sees today as a milestone for herself either. Then again, I don't know. I guess it shouldn't matter to me what she is thinking, but some days I still can't help it. Going this far without speaking to somebody you legitimately loved and cared for is a painful and long journey in introspection. Additionally, being abandoned under the veil of cheating and infidelity is another mind F of its own. My ex literally left me all alone. Within 3 days of unearthing her love affair, all her crap was packed and she was out the door only to run back to her home state. There were the obvious arguments and blow-ups afterwards, but then I left her with silence. For my own sanity, I blocked her on every single platform possible. Facebook, Insta, Snapchat. I blocked her on WhatsApp, blocked her on Netflix, SoundCloud, and even effing Venmo. I took it a step further and blocked any other point of contact with her, whether it was her family or even her close friends. I refused to give her or anyone affiliated with her the luxury of creeping on my life. Unless there's a chance of reconciliation, some family or living circumstance that needs attention, or say you and your ex got off on good terms. By all means, reach out if you need to. If you were betrayed, cheated on, lied to, abused, or gaslighted into believing you were responsible for their F-up, stay no contact for life. There are different stages to grieving, as we all know, but I feel they don't always show in step-by-step order. A year later, there are still days I feel angry and other days that I feel happy. There are days I feel like I have accepted her as gone forever, and there are days I sit on denial. There are days I question how she's feeling or even if I cross her mind at all. There are days I sit and wonder if she actually feels sorry for how she left me. There's even a morbid, sinister hope that she at least maybe felt empty or felt like total complete crap with my absence in her new life. After all, that is how she made me feel. The thing to remember is that no contact is for the individual. It's hard to view yourself as an individual after you break up with someone. You're no longer a pair. You're single. I've explored several forms of coping with that new reality. I tried therapy. It did help, but sessions become stale. I tried a bit of recreational misbehaving and drinking, and even random Tinder hookups. I can assure you that none of that crap is going to get you over somebody 100%. You're always going to love somebody to some extent. I'm at a point in my healing where I realize the only thing that matters is establishing a better relationship with myself. Recognizing your faults is vital as well. I was cheated on, but that doesn't make me a victim or guilt-free. I wasn't perfect either, and there was a lot of contributing factors from myself that led up to the demise of my past relationship. Relationships require communication, and unfortunately the lack thereof can turn your relationship upside down real quick. I still miss her, and I always will love her, but unfortunately I can only give that from afar. What I can say is it does get better. Distractions help, but they are not the solution. As cliche as it seems, it just takes time. Focus on yourself and your new life. Now a thought from the community. Time to forget this date, OP. You have done well to get this far and your survival from her infidelity is assured, but you need to take that next step and work on attaining that final level, the land of meh. You need to work on that indifference. You need to let go of that last little bit of her that resides in your psyche. That bit about, I still miss her and I will always love her. It's so vitally important to your future that you let that part of it go. You need to do it for you. You need to do it for your future. You need to be able to pass this day next year with no thought at all. In a year's time, you just want it to be Tuesday, better than last Tuesday, and not as good as next Tuesday, but just a normal Tuesday with no recognition that it was the day. What the comment says is true, OP. You've done extremely well despite the cards you were dealt. Relationships aren't easy, and breakups are even harder, especially ones that end on such terms. Sometimes the best thing we can do is take it day by day. When we do that, you're right, it gets better. And any day we're not with a cheater is a good day. Do you have a similar story? Share your experience with us in the comments below. And thank you for joining us today on rSpace. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. Until next time.